Come on, everybody, and please welcome to the stage, Szczech! Good evening. It's nice to see you've had so much to drink in the interval, makes my life a lot easier up here. I need to apologise to begin with. I forgot to tell them to get rid of the chair. I didn't actually need the chair. So I had to say, I thought it was a bit strange when I met my friend Jeff here, and Jeff invited me to take part. Jeff invited me to take part in the Leicester stand-up chair lunge. I've never been invited to take part in a chair lunge before. I've never been invited to take part in a stand-up chair lunge, but you know, we thought we could go for that. So I've been practicing it for weeks. I've been thrown out of 4 restaurants, 2 wine bars and 1 pub, but I hope you can see that I think I was getting quite good at that. So I was really looking forward to this evening. Imagine then my disappointment when I arrived here and it's a stand-up challenge. But, you know, story of my life really misunderstanding things. So I think, you know, before we go any further, just to make it very clear, my misunderstanding, if anyone heckles me, I will probably take that as a compliment and say thank you. So probably in these circumstances, it's a good place to be. Thank you. Story of my life is misunderstanding things. A few years back, a gym that I belonged to decided they wanted to get into the Guinness Book of World Record, you know, whatever they call it. So they put lots of signs up around the gym saying, join our record attempt for the world's largest underwear dinner party. I'm thinking, fantastic, this is exactly, you know, my scene. What are we looking for? Thinking I can't really go to that in my normal underwear. I want to make sure that I've got, you know, some top-notch stuff for this. So go down to my local favourite store, down to the charity shop, looking in there for some underwear suitable for the party. Not really turned out to be what I was looking for, sort of too much, you know, cotton, a bit too bubbly, you know, the elastic, you know, wasn't quite there. Getting a bit struggling here. What can I do before the party? But I come across this fantastic website, preowned.com. Don't know if you've seen that, but searched down that a little bit and found exactly what I wanted, the underwear that I needed for this party. So only 2 previous owners, and even better than that, from an animal and smoke-free home. Brilliant. Sent off for it, back it arrives, exactly the right fit, you know, exactly what I'm looking for, the right tension in the thong at the back. Very, very, very happy with this. Get dressed up, go off to this underwear dinner party. Arrive very, very pleased with myself because I noticed that everybody else there has clearly also invested in pre-owned clothing. So I'm thinking this is going to be a good party. Trouble is, bad news is that actually all the blokes had got pre-owned dinner jackets and all the women had got pre-owned evening dresses because, again, story of my life, I had misread it, and it was the world's largest underwater dinner party. Did actually make for some good photos to put on Facebook later. So that was, and I was pleased to know I'm not the only one here who misunderstands things. Rob, where are you? Rob down there. Just to be very clear, Rob, everybody else knows that cube is spelt with a C. It's been a big year in the country, as you know, with the referendum. So very big thing, all needed to make sure we got the referendum right. If we didn't have the right decision in the referendum, could have consequences for our children, for our children's children. So we had to make absolutely sure that we got the voting right. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking here about the Brexit referendum. I'm talking about the referendum that we had in the office here where we work in Leicester. It was the referendum for the names of the meeting rooms. Really important to get that right. We had the 2 different campaigns. We had on the one hand the science campaign, wanted all the rooms named after science. On the other side, the nature campaign wanted rooms named after nature. Two different campaign teams started off, come up with great arguments based on science and on fact, just like in the other referendum. I myself stuck something on the side of a bus. I got arrested for that, but that's a different story. So the two sides we had the scientists who were really trying to vote us, to scare us into voting their way. So we called them the Scrimaners. And their argument, again, based on fact, they said had to vote their way because if we left, the whole business would fall apart. There would be a dramatic change. We'd need to completely replan our business in some sort of emergency replanning. All of us would take a wage cut. Some of us would probably even lose their jobs. On the other side, the nature campaign saying we should leave everything up to nature. We could have called them the leavers, but decided to call them the naturists based on some of the people in there. And their story equally, based on fact. That they were saying that we should leave it to nature, and if we left it to nature, we could probably save 350 million, that we could then invest in things like new coffee machines and higher quality biscuits and stuff like that. So came to voting day. I was very much in favour of science. That's my background, wanted to go there, arguing very much in favour of that, but unfortunately, on the day, nature won the day, so 17.5 votes to 16, and I lost. I didn't need to resign, though. I'm still with the company. I'm still there, so I'm managing to stick with the company. And the company's doing very, very well. At the moment, we've been growing, taking on a lot of new staff. Taking on a lot of young people, although of course we're not allowed to say young people anymore because we can't talk about age. So we're taking on lots of less experienced people, some graduates. So we're very pleased with them taking on a lot of graduates. Have you been taking on graduates in your business? Pleased with them like we are? I think it's very, very different, though. Graduates these days, very different to when I started off in business. I remember when I started off, basically as a graduate, you did what you were told. I mean, I remember when I started off, you had to put your hand up and ask for permission to go to the toilet. But these young people don't seem to have that view anymore. And they just sort of seem to think they're entitled to so many things. All these graduates who work for me, they think they're entitled to things, lots of things they need, they say, like desks. And they think they need chairs. And I'm quite happy with that because I can practice my lunges. But they want computers. And, the worst thing of all, some of them actually want to get paid regularly. I just don't know where they think they're coming from. But it's been a good year at work. It's been a good year also at home. I'm now coming up this year to being married for 30 years, which is pretty good these days. Two different women, but I think that's okay. I think you can add them together, particularly if they're both called Sally. Very important. I only marry people called Sally. It's very important because I don't need to change the tattoo. The tattoo still says the wife. Okay with that? In between my two marriages, did have quite a few problems with dating. I dated a lot of girls between my two marriages, and a lot of them just seemed to think I was really weird because I insisted on calling them Sally. I don't know why that's strange at all, and maybe that was that, or it was the underwear or something like that. I'm not sure. But eventually found a way through this. You'll see websites are important in my life, and I found a way through this because found the ideal website, marrypeoplecalledsally.co.uk. Fantastic, exactly what I wanted. Didn't quite work for me to start with because you could only join if you're called Harry, so I had to fake it. She can do it in the film, I can do it on the website, that's fine. And got on very well with my current wife. I can call her my current wife because she calls me her current husband. That keeps me on my toes. And relationship going very well until, of course, at one point I had to admit that I'm not called Harry. I'm not sure whether that's what she was concerned about, more actually when she found out that I was called Bernard. I think that's not the worst. I think she'd have been happy with anything else, maybe happy with Josh or Logan or Seth or anything like that. but I'm afraid I'm stuck with the name of Bernard, and that's my name. Bernard, thank you very much indeed.